Hey, how's it going, everybody? And welcome to my review of Dredd 3D. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? Like there's 3Ds in Dredd, and it's 3D. I'm surprised they didn't market it that way or whatever. So, Dredd, I am the law. Judgment is here, or something like that. I don't know a lot about Dredd, but so the setup for this movie is they're like in a future where the world has crumbled, and there's like just some of the East Coast left represent where I'm from. They have like a bunch of tall buildings they build up, and they can fit. I don't know how many people in there. Just a lot of people. There's like 800 million people living on like the East Coast in just a few states, and they have big buildings. I forget what they call them, but that's where people live. And in this future, there's judge, jury, and executioner all in one person. They're the judges. They're like super cops that run around that have authority to do anything. They call in the borough like, hey, I'm gonna kill this guy. He did something bad. And like, okay. So that's like pretty much the setup. So Judge Dredd, the one who's like, I am the law and I abide by it and everything and stuff, who's played by Carl Urban, who I want to get out of the way, is fantastic in this movie. He is the law, period. That guy owned this role. Sylvester Stallone is probably somewhere crying right now, really upset about how good that was. The plot of this movie is an up-and-coming rookie, so like a protagonist for the audience to relate to, who doesn't know really anything. Well, she's just this close from like passing the judge exam and all that stuff, and she's a psychic, so that's pretty cool, and she brings like a really interesting aspect to the plot. And basically Dredd is testing her, and he says, okay, what do you want to do? That's the whole point, that she gets to decide what happens and what actions they take. And they say, hey, let's go to the Peachtree building. That's like one of those big buildings I was talking about where people live. And eventually it becomes just like the raid. And I'm not going to get into what was written first or not. This kind of stuff happens all the time. I don't care. They're stuck in the building, and this gang leader, Mama, this is actually really clever, and kudos to the filmmakers for putting this in there, there's a drug called slow-mo, and guess what that does? It pretty much turns you into Zack Snyder and makes everything go slow. You get what I'm saying? So the people like will shoot up with like an inhaler, and they will get super high and see everything slow. And so that's why they go in there. They get locked down and everything, and it's just the judge and his rookie, and they need to get to Mama. So, this movie, it's just running on pretty much, this little setup. And honestly, it worked for me. Like, watching the movie, I was like, this is fun, this is alright. I'd get a little teensy-weensy bit bored, like when they would slow down the action, because it's in there throughout, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. But honestly, I found that some of the action was like underwhelming. I'm like, oh boy, look at this setup they got here. I would get excited, be like, oh, something's about to happen. And like, it wouldn't be as exciting as I thought. But that being said, there's a lot of really great moments in the movie where you're like, oh, that's awesome. There's a lot of those oh moments. So it's visually very striking. There's a lot of cool use of slow-mo in this. Especially one of the last shots in the movie. It's very well done, and there's a lot of cool imagery, like something happens, and like as a closing shot, I don't know if anyone who's seen this noticed this, but like something is on the screen, and it looks like the X on the helmet of Dredd. So I thought like little touches like that. It's really well shot. The writing is like, it's okay. It's probably better than anything I could do. But this goes really close to exploitation film. This hits B-movie level and bounces right back up just because the visual aspect of this movie is so strong. But, it's just like people are freaking out about it, and people are like saying, oh my god, it's really amazing. And like right after I saw it, I was like, the 3D was cool, it was nice, it was fun, but like that wasn't the best thing I've ever seen. That was like, what this, But like after I thought about it, and I thought about like more, because it doesn't have like big action set pieces necessarily. It has like little moments where it gets really close and it gets in your face and it shows you something awesome, like really cool details. Like for example, there's a fight scene and a guy gets punched in the throat and there's like a big indentation. Sorry if that was the biggest spoiler of all time for you people out there, but like it was a nice touch. It like just zooms in on his neck and you see the indent. Like, and thinking about it after, I was like, all right, I could definitely recommend that. Someone saying that was worth your time seeing, especially in theaters. So I'm gonna give this like 6.5. Like 7 in that range. Like worth your time. Go check this out in theaters if you get a chance. It'll be a lot of fun. So go see DR3DD Dredd in theaters now. It was fun. Thanks for watching. That's what I thought. Tell me what you thought right down there. Please hit that button or that button, the one that says subscribe, and then tell me how much I suck in the comments. And thanks for watching, guys.